Mogotes Metals is an explorer that's looking for copper and gold in one of the hottest areas in the world for copper, if not the hottest for copper right now. Stephen Nano, technical advisor and director, joins us now to give us a fuller update. So, Stephen, one of the most significant pieces of news out of Mogotes is about the expanded claims. Can you describe to us what that means in terms of change for the company?
Yeah, look, thank you very much, Rachel. What's really important for Mogotes here is there's been really significant changes in the ownership of the underlying ground structure for us, for our land package. On the Argentine side, we've changed the nature of the option agreement so that Mogotes now has the option to directly acquire through an staged option agreement, 100% of the Argentine project from the underlying owner. On the Chilean side of the property, we've recently signed an option agreement with Chile's largest iron ore producer for a significant block of ground that adjoins our Argentine project. So we now control both sides of the border and the direct strike extent of the Filo belt. That's an option to acquire up to 80% of the project. And then from that stage on, it's a contributing joint venture between ourselves and the Chilean iron ore company. So what we now do control is 100% strike extent of that important middle Miocene age mineral belt that hosts the really large Los Helados, Lunahuasi, and Filo del Sol deposits. And our land now starts about 1 kilometre to the south of the Filo resource boundary. So truly on strike, and the only junior that I'm aware of that can really claim that position. So very, very important strategic position for us. From the exploration perspective, two sets of things are happening here. So I'll deal with the Argentine side of the exploration program second. The first thing that's really important for us and something that we've been working on now for over 2 years is the deal on that land that we've talked about in Chile, literally announced about 5 weeks ago. The deal was put in place. We've been working on it now for over 2 years. That the ground's been that strategically important to us. It literally contains the direct strike extent of the Filo alteration system. And as soon as we had that agreement in place, we sent in our recon teams to evaluate the ground. And what we're seeing is exactly what we had hoped to see. Extensive areas of advanced argillic alteration, large breccia systems, big altered structures cutting down through the basement rocks that may well be feeder zones to the system. So we don't have assay results from that work yet, but the geology is sufficiently encouraging for us that we've straight away signed up a Chilean-based geophysics team, the same team that did all of the geophysics on our Argentine side. And they'll start work literally within the next week to cover that target area with geophysics. The important part there is that because it's the same geophysical team, geophysical equipment, their proprietary systems, we'll be able to marry both the Chilean and Argentine sides of the system together now in a 3D geophysical model to help us drill test and prioritize. So key points: direct strike extent of the Filo alteration system, seeing the right kind of geology that are very exciting for us, advanced argillic alteration that may indicate high sulfidation style mineralization. And then if I go just to across the border, literally adjoining it to the Argentine side, our previous work in this area had highlighted very large geophysical anomalies lying at depth underneath the prospect areas, which we've called Meseta and Cumbre. Those geophysical anomalies are open into the Chilean ground that we've now acquired. So marrying both sides of the border together here, we're anticipating we'll see some significant geophysical anomalies underlying the surface exploration that we're now recording with our teams. On the Argentine, sorry, please go ahead.
Before we continue with the Argentine side,
yes.
Of course, it's great to have, from your perspective, a technical person, a breakdown of something that must be a little bit more difficult to understand into something simple. So thank you for that. I guess my question is...
It was clear. Okay.
My question is, whether it's on the Argentine or Chilean side, what kind of risks are there from a technical perspective that the team have to watch out for, that investors may want to learn about, want to understand in terms of how you're managing that sort of risk?
Yeah, the thing I think that is really important for us is that over a decade ago, the Chilean and the Argentine governments recognized that there was a number of large mineral systems that straddled the border between the two countries. So there is an existing bilateral accord in place between Chile and Argentina for the exploration and eventually, if successful, development of large-scale mineral deposits. Now, it's very unusual for a junior company to proceed down this route this early, but our neighbours next door, Filo Corp, already have this accord in place, and it means that they can move freely between Chile and Argentina. Their people, their equipment, they can bring a drill rig from Argentina or Chile to test the program, and any other equipment that they need to advance the project. We're advancing that same application for that trans-border accord, and we're very close to having it. So at the moment, we can easily work both sides of the border, notwithstanding that we are in, the Andes, and it's significant terrain and altitude. We can access Argentina from the Argentine side and Chile from the Chilean side at the moment without a problem. But very soon we'll be able to explore in the way that our large neighbours next door are doing through that border agreement. So not a significant risk there. I think the important thing to understand with that whole Miocene belt and the string of deposits along it is that it is seasonal exploration. We're coming in now to the last month or 2 months of the field season in South America. So we won't be working there during winter. You can work during winter once you've got a more advanced project, as Filo Corp is doing next door. But for us as an exploration company, our work will be seasonal. We're seeing that we're going to have all of the information in place that we need to make drill decisions by the end of the season here, and to prioritise the best targets to test, which I'm fully anticipating it will include the Meseta target and the Cumbre target that are right on the border for us.
You had some closing thoughts or continuing thoughts on the Argentine border side. So if you can kind of mention that for us.
Yeah. So look, as I just mentioned, the new ground on the Chilean side is brand new for us. So we're doing that first phase recon. On the Argentine side, our exploration is much more advanced. We've now had a couple of seasons up there. We have full geophysics covering the whole property, quite innovative 3D geophysics for a junior company to apply, but the same techniques that have been used by several other very successful explorers along the belt. That's generated some large, significant geophysical anomalies for us that have the characteristics of potential porphyry or high sulfidation mineralization. We've got extensive geochemistry on the surface and soils, our own soil grids, lots of alteration, mapping and processing from satellite imagery, WorldView 3 that we've processed ourselves, and ground truth, and also now good old-fashioned boots on the ground geological coverage. So all of those data sets put us much further advanced on the Argentine side. We've just completed now an extensive trenching and rock chip sampling program over the top of those targets. And what I can tell you from the data sets that we can see is that we have 9 really significant targets within our project that have combination of large-scale geophysics alteration and geochemistry and the right geology. So it's really unusual. I've, grey beard, I've been doing this for a few years, to have a project that is adjacent to, a giant discovery like Filo del Sol, Aurora, with that many targets within one project, and we are definitively directly on the strike to the south of that large scale alteration zone and district that hosts the Filo system. So really exciting.
I assume that in the next few months we'll be hearing about, I guess, exploration updates on these 9 targets you described. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. And what we'll see now is, because we've been, sampling during the season, sending out batches of trench and rock chip results, those results from the Argentine side are flowing in probably in the next week or so. And then they'll flow in over several months. We'll also start to see the results coming in from the Chilean part of the system that we've just gained access to through that new deal, and also the new geophysics and the model for it. So lots of news flow here, lots of information that'll come through that'll see these targets firm up over the coming months. That'll be really important for us. We're in an area where we need to be very judicious with our treasury and drill the best targets, and we're going to absolutely ensure that we have full and complete high quality data sets to choose the best targets to drill test.
Understood. Well, it's always a pleasure to have the technical side of the team join us here on Inside the Boardroom. So thank you so much, Stephen, for being here.
Rachel, really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. For our viewers who want to learn more about Mogotes and do your own due diligence, make sure to search up MOG on the CEO.CA site to see what other investors are saying. Thanks for watching.